Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Henny Nice Podcast. As always, I'm your host, your brother, Jay White. First things first, make sure on whatever platform you're looking at, or not even looking at, listening to this on, like, subscribe, share, rate the podcast, all that, good shit. Helps with the podcast rating, helps people find the podcast. As always, I appreciate all the support. Y'all sharing the clips, showing me y'all sharing the show, listening to the show. I need all that. That's good energy. So yeah, make sure y'all do that. Next, Henny Nice merch. We ain't having no more problems with the shipping. None of that. So make sure if you want some merch, click that Linktree link that's in the show notes. It'll take you through everything that I've done so far. The newest episode, the podcast that I've been on with the person that I got on the podcast right now, articles, all of that. There'll be a link for the merch. It'll take you there. You get your t-shirts there, your crew necks, everything you need podcast related. Make sure y'all check that out. And again, I appreciate your support. So my guest on the podcast today is not a stranger to the show. She has 13 podcasts of her own. You feel me? 13 of her own podcasts, whiskey sour. She got candles. She do, I was about to say TV shows, but you do web content. Like you're just doing all the things.
You can speak a TV show over my life.
Okay, TV show coming soon. Yeah.
Let's speak. We can speak a TV show over my life, and I'm about to yell at my puppy, Paxton. Paxton. He likes smelling around on the carpet. Get up here. And I'll be nervous because I just cleaned this expensive ass carpet.
Oh, you think?
And I feel like it still smells like pee somewhere, and I can't find it. I have upholstered my couch.
I'm trying to find a spot.
Hello, bro.
But yes, you hear her voice. Whiskey Sour herself. My sister Dom has joined me on the podcast today. So what's up outside of your puppy pissing all over the place?
Living my life like it's golden, trying to at least. I also have another podcast, guys, called Everyone Needs an Aquarius, because y'all kind of do. And it's life, hot topics, hot takes from the perspective of me and my co-host, Daryl, and we just have a really, really good time. Yeah, we turn the fuck up, and that's all I got. So
I just bumped into him. I just bumped into him a few weeks ago at a bar.
Okay,
solid dude. So shout out to y'all. Don't know about that. Don't know about that Aquarius fact. I'm not sure about that Aquarius fact.
Okay, look, it's really no slander, but it's just a really, really, really good time. So y'all have to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. So before we get into, the bullshit, last time I had you on was in January. I think it was right before I went to Houston. So since then, mugs on the covers of magazines and whatnot.
You're being very dramatic.
But let me, you just said, speak that over you.
You do. I am, but yes, you are correct.
So,
I just feel like, humble and yeah.
Mugs graced the cover of the 314 day edition of the Deluxe magazine. And I have it. I mean, I've told you congrats otherwise, but let me say it on the podcast. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's always dope to see people I know be acknowledged for the things that they do in whatever space there is, because there are a multitude of different spaces.
That's true.
You all provide different things. So let me say congratulations to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope at some point when they do the next one, that they list all the people that are on the cover. and like maybe their Instagram handles if they are on social media. So people are able to kind of see what these people are doing. It's one thing to put us on the cover, but I would like a detailed list of people. I don't have the physical copy. That's all I know is just what I saw on the digital copy. And the digital copy didn't have anything like that. So hopefully, they can, like put the person's blurb, say, maybe just a quick why they was chosen or something. And that's all, because that's cool. Because it's like, who are all these people? Why'd y'all pick them?
Yeah. It's a
Some
little
people
different.
don't know me or the
Yeah.
other people on the cover exist. So
Yeah. It's a little different. It's very St. Louis right now. So, for somebody that's in the city, I knew like a huge portion of the people that were on the cover. So
listen,
yeah.
I'm gonna
So
pull this
yeah.
cover up. Deluxe 314 day.
Yeah. So like
And
if you're in the city, yeah, of course. Like it's
I could tell you probably okay, so they have like an article inside about Young Dip.
mm,
So yeah, like I don't know. Like it looks like the 314 day was like the last one. I don't know any, like I know the janitor on
Abbott Elementary, yeah.
Abbott, of course Jason Tatum, it's an honor. Um Sleepy and Doja are on here. Jamie, of course.
Of course.
Murphy Lee, Kiwan. I think that's Ali.
Probably.
Then
I'm
you
not
got
looking at it
Larry
right now, but
Hughes.
so you know
It's a
a
couple
decent
people that
amount, yeah.
so it's like British is on here, like Andrew Caldwell. I see Focus, but the other people,
Yeah. I get it.
and y'all can't see my face, but I'm like, who are these people? So I'm like, and for me, it's like also one, it exposes us to more people, right? But then we can all be exposed to each other. So if we wanted to collaborate in some kind of way, it gives us, now I know who this person is, I can get in contact with them.
Right.
So that's all.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you put that suggestion in the Dropbox somewhere, hopefully, for them
Yeah,
to.
like I'm looking again at the inside of this digital magazine. I was like, but this in the inside it says 314 day 2021. Like what?
No.
Maybe it's the
Gotcha.
wrong file that was uploaded.
Yeah. Yeah, must be up against time. But yeah, congratulations on being on the
Yeah.
cover. Like you said, the people you named, very, very solid people here in the city. And of course, all doing really, really great things. So yeah. And as somebody who is also kind of doing their own thing or whatever, it's like, okay, let me see if I can attach a rocket to myself so I can, be in the room or be on the cover with these dope people. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a motivator for sure. So yeah, I wanted
Yeah,
to give you
man.
your flowers on that.
I appreciate it, and they are received. They are definitely received.
Yeah, for sure. So what's new? Oh God.
Okay. I
Okay.
put up a heart for
Yeah.
those listening. I that's anyway.
Yeah.
What's new? I honestly had just been brainstorming different ideas and just trying to push like my content more. I had been kind of in like a funk when it comes to certain things or certain spaces. Just being completely transparent, my mental health has been trash. Just being completely honest, and I finally felt like last week I was having a breakthrough, and then today I get some terrible news, and I am shit. So, just really trying to take things one day at a time, be gentle with myself, remind myself that I do deserve rest. And sometimes, like in that rest, you get ideas. And so that's all. just trying to figure out what's next, like next steps, but just really, I don't know. It's also been super gloomy here. And I
Mm.
know, like,
And she's in LA.
yeah, it's, y'all been, listen, my best friend, we were FaceTiming the other day, y'all, and I was like, is it sunny there? He said, yeah. I said, can you go outside so I can see the sun? And my friend literally went outside and turned this camera around so I could see the sky and the sun, and it was just so bright and pretty. And I have to like give him props to that. So it was sunny out here Saturday, Sunday, but we back in this June gloom. Like, and it's been June gloom all of April. It has not rained. And I'll tell people this. I said, I don't mind it having being overcast if it's raining.
Mm.
But the fact that there's no rain, I got a problem.
But y'all always go through like a fucking drought during the summer, though.
We go through a drought, but not this shit.
Mm.
The rent is too high for it to be gloomy. I was like, where can I go? And I was wondering if it was sunny in Palm Springs. If it is sunny in Palm Springs this weekend, I am going to spend my day in Palm Springs. I'm a hobble along with my broken
Oh
toe
yeah. Oh yeah. We'll talk about that.
and lay out at somebody's pool because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, you need some sunlight in your life.
I need
That'll
some
help with that.
sunlight. Like I had started the tan process. I went to his house and went to the pool. That tan is almost gone. I feel some type of way.
Clearly, I can see it in your face.
So
You're
hey,
very upset right now.
I'm very upset. I'm very upset.
So okay, so it's been a little gloomy. You
Look
know,
gloomy.
I think a lot of us and our fellow peers are in this in a space that's like, what's next? Like trying to figure stuff
Yeah.
out for all of y'all that tap in with me or whatever. I'm going through a little career, well, not a career change, but like a career detour
Yeah.
myself as well. Um, and it's just crazy. Like you look back out, and I'm just talking to my therapist about this Saturday.
Okay.
Shout out to Dr. Scott, my nigga. I was just talking to him about this. I was like, dog, last year you couldn't tell me it wasn't up.
Yeah.
I was finally in as far as professionally, the career I'm in, I'm at where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Money was looking right, finances was looking right, this, that, and the third. I'm just like on a fucking high or whatever. And then within a matter of a few months, shit just started getting real. And it's crazy how like we continue, we gotta push through, gotta push through.
Yeah. And
And it
that's
gets to
really
a point to where I was telling him, I feel like my mind just is like overloaded, and it was just like enough. All right. Like a
yeah.
muscle, right? Like a muscle, right? You go in the gym, you lifting weights. When you build muscle, that means the previous muscle tears, right? That's how you get stronger. It repairs itself or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm at that point where I've just like taxed my
Let's
mind.
transition.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
taxed my mind so much, it's like, yeah, nigga. It's cracked open. Now it got to rebuild itself or whatever. And it's just like everything in life. Like I said, a lot of peers are going through career stuff, family stuff, friend stuff. Like it's just a pivotal, emotional ass time for a lot of us and shit like that. And
Yeah.
niggas don't want to be adults no more. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, it's definitely like that. When you are in the midst of transition, it just seems like a whole bunch of chaos. And I always tell people, I was like, it's like I'm on the verge of like this breakdown and a breakthrough at the same time. And so it's really hard to kind of just be optimistic sometimes. And for the most part, as a person, that's has mental health issues as well, like you try to, remain positive, be happy, control the things that you can, and, release the things that you can't, right? So it's just interesting. And today I was talking to a friend of mine that I probably haven't spoken to probably since college. I think it was one time we all went out together. And then, ultimately I moved away, and social media gives us it's like this weird gift and a curse,
Mm-hmm.
because you feel like you just spoke to somebody yesterday because they posted something. They gave you
Mm-hmm.
like insight to their life. And, I talked to a couple other people today that I haven't spoken to in such a long time. And now we have everybody's number. And we said we're gonna stay in touch with each other. We'll check in on each other outside of social media, um, because life is really short. But also, it's one of those things where when we're talking about, like you said, like you could tell me nothing about this year. I was like, man, I woke up. I clearly fell asleep before the clock struck midnight. Um, but I was like, something felt different about the air this year. It felt really, really good. Like, and hadn't felt like that in such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I still am gonna be optimistic and positive about the year. Because like death is inevitable. You just wish that it wasn't happening so close around you, right?
Right.
And so with that said, it's just like, I know things are gonna look up, and that's just where I'm trying to remain, like just doing the work. How can I create, even in the midst of this, like how can you find humor in this, in certain situations, or how can you tell stories? How can you make other people laugh? So that's where I'm at right now. But we got it. It's gonna be good. It's
Yeah, yeah.
gonna
That's
be
the other thing that I try to hang my hat on, because I'm a persevering ass nigga. So I know it's gonna turn up, because I've been in some fucked up situations before or whatever, and it always like it works itself out, it rectifies itself or whatever. It's
always
just the like damn, it's always like the damn, I gotta be going through this now type shit.
right.
But when you ask for something and you put that energy out into the universe, shit will move out of its way, for you to get those things. But it doesn't.
Absolutely.
People often don't talk about the shit you got to go through to get to that point, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the bullshit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And for me, I believe that, everything happens for a reason, perspective, even in the midst of like all the chaos right now. It's like being able to kind of like check yourself and check on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's like weird how that even works itself out too. So, you know, um, yeah, just trying to, like do the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Nigga's still here.
Still
A
here.
nigga is still here, gonna keep rocking for sure. So, but
Absolutely.
now how the fuck you break your toe?
Did I do what?
You broke how you break your toe?
N- I don't know. I don't like. It's wild. It's just like really wild. Like I literally freak accident. Freak accident. I was like walking and in my apartment, and I was walking to put my laptop in my work bag to get
Mm-hmm.
literally to get ready for the next day for work. And getting ready for bed, like, and next thing you know, like I was walking over to the table, and next thing you know, I was on the floor. I don't know if I like, yeah, that is the best way to
So
describe
you
the
didn't hit it on
situation.
nothing.
I clearly did something.
Like you
And
ain't,
I looked at it today. Like this is the first time I kind of because it was wrapped up, and then when I went to my primary doctor after I went to urgent care, like almost a week later, He took the wrap off, and I was just in so much excruciating pain. Like I felt like it was like moving. So I like wrapped it back. And so I took it off last week. But now I'm like seeing like something happened because it's like a bruise. Like it's like a like not a bruise, okay, like a scab. So I don't know if it was like rubbing in the I don't friend. Bro. This is I be telling people I was like, yo, like sometimes the shit that happened to me be just a series of fucking unfortunate events. Like remember when I got the COVID shot, and then next thing you know, like a few days, like I'm experiencing like not really crazy side effects, but I pull into the carport, I bag into my carport like I always do, and I busted the window out. The back window. And mind you, I just bought my car.
Fam.
How?
How?
It'd be wild. Like, okay, I was like, okay, I'm gonna not pull. I might have to back in a certain way where I don't back all the way into my storage unit. Then it was like another time I like, okay, so I had these spells where my sinuses would be real bad, right? And it makes it hard to drive. So because my equilibrium is off because it's fluid on my ear. Y'all, that day I could not, I knew I was gonna have a hard time backing into my parking spot, right? And it's real tight, clearly. And
Hey, you. All right, nigga. All right.
It was too easy. It was too easy.
That's
I looked it
enough.
up,
That's
right?
enough, nigga. That is enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. TMI. But y'all, I pulled in. I everything. Like I spacing it out, looking right. Y'all, I scraped the side of my car. Like, bro, I'm done. I'm done with this driving. I can't wait to just have a driver.
You not passenger princess right now?
No.
Damn.
And here's the thing: people be like, you can call Uber. Yeah, that's cute, but Uber is taxing. Has been taxing, and to be honest, Uber, they can say, oh, the pandemic shift. No, y'all was starting to gank motherfuckers before. Like ours was real expensive. So, but I had got to the point where, like on the weekends, I was budgeting. Part of my entertainment budget was Uber. To, like so I wouldn't have to drive certain places. So, but like I'm telling y'all. Well, other than that, life good. Life is. But what stars say? Life is good.
It's fucking good. Life is fucking good. No, I mean, like you said, yeah. I'm trying to like when I went to like it wasn't too bad because I was with people. So like splitting the cost of like Uber. Well, we took a lot of lifts. We took a lot of lifts. But yeah, y'all be taxing out there for like the big pop-in cities. Be busting heads just to go like 15, 20 minutes.
Man.
For
telling you.
For no damn reason. So I can believe it. But yeah, man. You're gonna have to figure something out if your ass can't fucking back into a parking space.
I got it figured out now. It just take a little longer.
Nigga, well, you've been driving for 11 years. Come on, man.
It's fine. It just been wild. And it like freaked me out. Like it was wild. But like I said, that damn vaccine had me disoriented.
No, facts though, because when I so the first shot I got, my first shot of superpowers, nothing, I don't think, and I think my arm was a little bit swollen. That was probably it.
Yeah.
The second time I got it, the second dose, it actually like I was actually fatigued after I got the second one. Cause I remember like going to sleep in the living room or whatever. That third one though, that booster, dog, it looked like I had another titty under my armpit because it's my lymph nodes.
Was swollen.
It's swollen, and it looked like a fucking baseball was under my shit. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, damn, it's
Wow.
hella tender. It's hella tender right here. And then I raised my shit up, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? It eventually went down, but like, I wasn't anticipating that being, the side effect or whatever. I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be more so my arm versus the actual lymph node, under my shit being swollen or whatever. So yeah, my superpowers ain't come in yet, but eventually they'll activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate at some point. So yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
did you see this shit about Jamie Foxx and this weird
I'm not.
misinformation?
I'm not. I'm not going down that road, man. I've seen it. Yeah, I've definitely seen it.
Like,
But
how were people? So, okay, I guess, okay, so here's the thing. It's so many violations in effect. It's like, because then you start like, okay, so how y'all,
HIPAA just don't exist.
right? That's the first thing I saw. I was like,
Like, oh, okay.
so HIPAA? No,
No,
nah.
no.
So that was okay. So I'm glad you like me because that was the first thing I said. Everybody's like, see, we told y'all. I said, nobody is talking about if this, let's say potentially this could be true, which still doesn't necessarily, people, I think what happens too with vaccines or whatever, or anything that's new to your body, people are going to say, this is the point of reference. This is what I did different, right?
But
So, I was like, nobody said that his spokespeople or his family have come out and y'all saying that this man is blind, and it's really, to me, it's real fucked up because outside of the HIPAA violation, it forces, it's like y'all trying to force him to like show himself.
mm-hmm.
And nobody believes that, oh, maybe he really wasn't playing pickleball. Maybe he really didn't post that message on his Instagram. Maybe he really is blind in one eye now. Like, how did this just get this? And don't forget, like, apparently they were supposed to be preparing for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what?
Right. Yeah, it's entitlement. People like, you owe us that. You're
Jamie
one
Foxx
of a
know
celebrity. You owe us shit. His daughter coming out and being like he good was enough for me. I'm like, okay, I'll take your word for it. Um, I don't have nothing else to go off of or whatever. It's all types of
Newsweek, my nigga.
crazy ass
Newsweek.
reports out there and stuff like that. And like, you know how it is when something like a family member passes or something like that. Like, everybody comes out the woodwork. And if you are, recovering from a traumatic situation like that, that's just adding more fucking stress on you.
Yes. And it's like, what's weird about this is like, even Newsweek is, like posting, oh, Jamie Foxx becomes the face of the anti-vax movement. What? And then don't forget, even when that happened, like, MSN had an article with the shit. I was like, what?
Yeah, nobody's fact checking shit.
No, like, what is going on? This is just this is just getting out of fucking hand. Newsweek. Okay, this sounds like a lot of like conservative, like weird things.
Oh yeah, pushing that
But like
agenda.
these other ones I've never heard of. But I'm like, bro, like y'all gotta chill and just let people rest. Like, why aren't celebrities allowed to get rest like the rest of us?
Nah, they not. It just is what it is. This is all consuming because we have fucking access to every fucking thing, man.
Yep.
I've said this before. We have way too much access to shit. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. That's what it all always boils down to. And motherfuckers was like legitimately upset. Like, he need to do a video. He need to jump on camera. Like, bro, if he just had a stroke, is
Yeah,
what they were saying.
so it's either he had a stroke or like an aneurysm.
Aneurysm.
Yeah, I was like, because I was hearing both, but I'm just like, yo, like, let him be. I said, y'all want to know who else had an aneurysm and got to have an aneurysm in peace? Sharon Stone. Nobody, now granted, like, as far as social media and stuff, like, it was definitely a different time, but she survived that.
Mm-hmm.
So just let people allow the space for them to heal. And when they ready, they will say whatever. And if he don't ever have to say nothing to us, he don't. Who that white man?
That's the TV in the background.
At first, you know who it looked like at first? It looked like Mel Gibson at first, and I zoomed. Then I said I zoomed in. I linked in.
My TV I got a background. I got a hitting nice background. And like my TV is on in the background, and like stuff from the TV is shooting.
That was the first time he really wanted to be seen.
That was Pat Riley, shout out to the Heat. But yeah, if you ever been around somebody who has had a stroke or some type of situation going on with their brain, bro, they don't need to do nothing.
They don't need to do nothing. Depending on the severity of that stroke, they don't need to do nothing. They just need to rehab and get
rehab. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. But we want to know. We want to know, bro. So yeah, once after his daughter came out and was like, yeah, he good. I don't know about the pickleball stuff. I take that with a grain of salt. But if she say he all right, I'm gonna just go with that. I'm not finna be conspiracy theories. Everything is a fucking conspiracy theory. So, or agenda to do X, Y, Z. So we hope he recovers soon. Put it that way. So I got a game for us to play.
Ooh.
So it's a card game. It's called Hella Awkward. Right.
Oh, perfect game, because I am.
Hella awkward. So I don't know the questions. I think I grabbed eight from them. They were like different colors, different levels and stuff like that. I just grabbed the 8, two colors per whatever. So we're gonna play this game and we're gonna have some fun because I like playing card games on the show. So
okay, love it. The
first question is going to be about relationships. I can see that.
No,
right now.
Okay.
All right. So this is the card. So this is what the card look like. Okay. You're not in a relationship right now, but it can still apply. Oh yeah, you are in a relationship.
Okay, read the question.
All right, my bad. I'll be forgetting, dog. Man. Damn. All right. So it's a relationship question.
Okay.
What have you sacrificed for your relationship?
I think I've sacrificed, and that's actually a really good question. I think that when it comes to sacrifice, I've sacrificed some of like, and in a sense, to a certain degree, it's kind of made me grow. I'm gonna say a little bit, or it's made me a little crazy because I date a certain like way or age bracket, and so I am used to dating men that are entrepreneurs, but by the time I date them, they're like well into their business, where the business is kind of operating on it itself, and so I'm used to being able to spend like time with people, and I'm gonna say I've sacrificed a little bit of my time.
Mm,
You know, I feel like there are things that I've kind of allowed to play out in my relationship that I probably back in the day wouldn't let slide because of time and allowing this person like business to have the space to allow their business to thrive and flourish. But there are, I'm gonna say a little bit of it is time. And I know people are gonna be like, that's really not, but time is a lot. And I'm a person that really enjoys you know, we talk about love languages, but I feel like to a certain degree I'm all of them. But quality time is a really big deal to me.
mm,
And to not be able to see that person as much as I would like to, or want to be able to talk to them as much, that's really hard. But
facts.
I also know that this person is working on, you know, like has a, you know, a business that is successful and, you know, can grow into like a multi-million-dollar business. So I just have to be supportive, you know, in the background and just be cool. But I'm gonna say a little bit of time, quality time.
Facts. I ain't gonna say I'm all of the love languages because like acts of service, like that's kind of like mm, for at least like as far as me giving acts of service, like I can or whatever,
Yeah.
but like for me, it's not up there at all. I think it's at the bottom actually, if I remember the test correctly. Quality time is like up number one for me, and the physical touch is like really really close according to that exam that was floating around a few years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, for me in previous relationships, for sure, it was just like selfishness, like being, and I guess it kind of speaks to that time too, of just being able to move how I want to move, like
Yeah.
like you say, spending like I hit you up or whoever I'm dealing with, hit them up and be like, "Yo, I want to do X, Y, and Z. You want to come?" And they not be able to do it; it'll be free, and I kind of be like, "Huh, well, I'm gonna do it anyway." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
go do it solo versus like looking at it and being like, okay, they didn't say they didn't want to do it with you. Is it really gonna kill you if you like wait until they're available? You
Yeah,
know,
no, that's true. But then
because they want to
also on the
experience that with
hindsight
you.
too, is just like, okay, if they can't do it, though, like, what's the time frame? Like, there are places that I want to travel,
Mm,
and go to, and I'm kind of getting in I might have to travel alone bag, which is
mm.
okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
of course, reading the regulations and rules, you know, guidelines, because as a woman, you can't really everywhere. You can't go
You can't
everywhere by
maneuver like
yourself, but
that. Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. So for me, it's some selfishness, like removing that out of the equation, and being more patient. Just because it's somewhat delayed doesn't mean it won't happen. It just won't
right,
happen when I want it to happen. Because I want it now, type shit. So
right.
just don't think about it in that way. I mean, that took a while to get through that or whatever. So yeah. All right. This one is a real talk question. It's yellow and purple.
Okay.
All right. I know this answer. We kind of just talked about it. Have you ever gone to therapy? If not, are you open to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone to therapy and you are in therapy. I'm
I
actually
am.
probably going to look into going again. So yeah, I'm open to it. Cause I think the thing with therapy too is like, black people, we love having secrets. We love having secrets. We love like taking shit to the grave, not ever talking about like something that's traumatic that has happened to us.
Mm,
And also I think sometimes therapy can help you, excuse me, when you have things that are a fresh set of eyes
yeah.
in your situation or whatever, and so they can give you, understanding, to something that you could be, like experiencing, going through. So definitely like hella pro therapy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
that's
the
my
fact I'm like, is that the dog grunting like that?
Yeah, she's asleep. That's her
Oh,
snoring.
okay.
I'm really sorry,
Snoring.
y'all. I'm real
Okay.
sorry.
No, you
She
good.
was just up, and I thought so. I thought she was just gonna come and lay down on me. This
No,
girl
she's
is kicked
tired.
up, feet up on her
Knocked
back.
out. Knocked the fuck out. Yeah. No, I mean, I talk about my going to therapy all the time. Like
Yeah.
I just retweeted a list, like what was that, last week, that had my therapist on there.
Oh
So
wow.
on Twitter. So I tell people all the time, like, yeah, bro, like had I not gone in 2019, I don't know. Not saying I was like suicidal or anything like that, but I really needed in that moment to go
Yeah.
or whatever. I was even in couples therapy. I tell people about that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't know shit that's like making you tick until you like unearth a lot of that shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like those repressed memory don't have to be some super hurtful shit. It can be like something that you like, you like whatever, and then like realize like no, that was just like one piece of the trail that kind of just led up to this other thing, and before you know it,
Yep.
it
Boom.
took over or whatever. So it doesn't always have to be some super, oh my god, like
Yeah. Absolutely.
Law
Absolutely.
and Order ass twist and turn. You know what I'm saying? So
Dun dun.
yeah. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So this is back on relationships.
Okay.
Sometimes love isn't enough. Ooh, I don't know if I want to ask you this.
Ask me.
Sometimes love isn't enough. What is missing in your relationship?
Okay.
See, I didn't know. I didn't fucking pre-screen these questions.
No,
So
it's
like,
okay, and that makes it more raw and honest.
yeah.
I would say in my relationship, there's a level of intimacy that's missing, and when I say intimacy, I don't mean like sex. Intimacy can be like conversation and spending time. People like I just talked about the spending time. The spending time thing is really important to me.
Mm,
And a certain conversation, like when we first met, like because our birthdays are a couple days apart, so there are certain things about us that we're kind of similar. And I just remember us like texting so much or talking on the phone and like for hours on end sometimes. But again, like I met him at a different time.
mm.
And then he made this shift. And sometimes I feel like I because that's her daddy. She wants you talking about her daddy.
You talking too much about
Um
daddy.
I feel like my person is definitely more pragmatic. So that romantic, like whisking me away for a weekend probably would not happen because that's just not the way that his mind is set up. So I would say that like, like sometimes I might, as much as I hate surprises, I might surprise me. Like, let's go to Palm Springs for the weekend, or let's go to Catalina for the weekend, and like let's us like put our phone down and just like be in each other's faces.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Let's get lost in each other's eyes.
Yes, because the days where I'm like super super needy,
Mm-hmm.
which is like new as I'm like kind of tapping more into like my feelings and my emotions, and it's foreign to him because like he's in his 40s and I'm like, like on this journey of like wanting to feel, and this is new to me, and so I'm like, feel, nigga, and you like, bitch, what? And like it's funny because like Daryl, when we talked about like stuff like that on the Aquarius podcast, Daryl's the same way. And his birthday is a couple days before ours.
Mm.
So it's like it's a weird Aquarius thing, but I would just say that like I would say when I date men of other signs sometimes, like I think they are and men and like so like they talk about all the time like Aquarius men are not romantic. They not. Like I cracked a joke. I was like somebody said something about like this proposal, and people were kind of talking about like what their partner or what they would think their partner would do. And I
Mhm.
said, my person is the type of person he will wake up one morning and he gonna ask me, do I want to marry him? And then he gonna roll back over and go to sleep after I say yeah. And he fell out and he was like, that's so true. And I was like, bro, like, what? Can you at
Yeah.
least roll over? Can we be like in pairs or some shit?
Okay.
Like, can that be the question in pairs? Like, at least we already there. Like, I know you're not gonna propose to me under the Eiffel Tower or nothing like that, but like,
That's
can
still fly.
like, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, this nigga woke up. We was in Paris, you know, like that.
Yeah.
No, out. Like, I hope. Sometimes this is crazy. Like if we ultimately have kids together, yeah, you want a son, but I'm like, Lord, give him a daughter. Like, give us a daughter because
Oh, to
he
soften
can
him
be.
up.
Yes.
Soften his ass up. Yeah. That'll do it. Everybody that I know that's had a daughter that's like around our age,
Mm-hmm.
that'll do it.
Yeah.
It does it
Hopefully.
every time. Every time.
Hopefully.
I mean, for me, like when I finally do get in a relationship, you know, like, yeah, this is my person for real, for real. Just know that, like, you're not locking in with the idea of a person that you think I am. Like, you actually know me for real, for real. Like, I
Yeah.
made a tweet about that the other day. Like, don't fucking like the idea of me. Like,
I think a lot of people
yeah,
like the idea of me, and then
yeah,
once they realize how I am as a person, it's funny because like today on that call, my homegirl, I was like, have you ever known me to hold my like bite my tongue? Have I ever known you to bite your tongue?
yeah.
And we just fell out laughing. And I'm like, like same old Dom, whatever, same old D. But I've also grown and I've always been a person to like kind of speak up and advocate for myself. So if I see you doing something wrong or you're doing something that's hurting me, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Now, if you receive that, great. I hope you would receive that. But sometimes I think it's so foreign to people because people are used to people just letting shit like be. I'm like, nah, we talking about this shit right now. We correcting it because if it keeps happening, you're gonna get me at a moment and I'm gonna be a little petty. And I've
Yeah.
had those moments happen. So I try to in that moment kind of say something about it, So we'll see.
Yeah, it's for me, it's just like I don't want to say I don't tolerate bull like shit or whatever, but like no, like I have
There's
like
certain levels of bullshit we just can't deal with.
expectations of like, yeah, like, treat me
Yeah.
like a decent fucking person. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
don't get mad and not talk to me for hellas because like I called you out on some shit. Or we had a
Okay.
conversation or a different conversation about some shit, and because it made you uncomfortable, like, like, no, like, let's talk about it. We're adults.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disrespecting or anything like that. And I'm not even trying to be um trying to win said conversation or argument. It's just like, no, like, let's talk. I need to understand the view and if it's something I agree on or if it's something I don't agree on. So like, yo, like me for everything. Cause like
Yeah.
I'm not always up.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm down or whatever. So and then of course it's gonna be reciprocated. So yeah. So,
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know about reciprocity, but you know,
all right.
whatever.
All
Like they don't.
right.
They don't.
So real talk.
Okay.
What's something about you that nobody else would believe?
What is something what?
What is something about you that nobody else would believe?
I would say no one will believe that at the end of the day, I am like a hopeless romantic.
Oh.
I would be a hopeless romantic and I'm not a gold digger. People don't believe that, but it's really true. And I'm really not, because like I said, like I've dated a man with money, like they get look at Puff Daddy. Like he's a mess. Like you
What's
know
up? Okay, what's wrong? What did he do, man? Because like
we
there
can
was
talk
much
about it offline.
conversation. All right, all right, all right.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, fine.
but people with money, that doesn't mean that they'll always be the kindest to you. And
Right.
so that doesn't move me, like, I grew up spoiled. So if you want to spoil me, like that's one thing. But when it comes back down to like, I'm a sapiosexual, so I love like conversations with people or whatever. And I want like I don't like, it's not about like being famous or anything that like that. I'm like, I just want to be able to have like a comfortable lifestyle, not want for anything, be able to like hop up and take a trip if I want to. But also like the other thing that's important, like my friends are so important to me. Relationships are important to me just in general because I always, for the most, I try to show up as my like true full self, like we just talked about. And
Mhm.
when that shit like hits the fan, I'll be mad. Like I'll be upset if like like a friendship dissolves, because I'm like, damn, what red flags did I miss? Like Aquarius is, we not really trusted. We like really proceed with caution. And so I'm like, damn, what I do wrong? When sometimes a lot of stuff don't have nothing to do with me at all. Like it's on that person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say that too. But yeah, those are a couple of things that people wouldn't believe. But I'm really like that. I'm like, I feel like I deserve my fairy tale happy ending.
Okay. Cool. Uh. So I got a quick funny story. So, like a few days a few days ago, Josh Hart, Josh Hart from the Knicks, tweeted a he tweeted, "Yeah, have you ever tasted your significant other's breast milk?" Right, and so naturally, motherfuckers was like, "Yo, you tweeting that like you wilding right now or whatever, stuff like that." And so it made me remember when
Uh-oh.
when
That
I
happened to
was
you?
when I was like 18. I had just graduated from Carteret or whatever. Shout out to the homie that said involves or whatever. We still cool to this day or whatever. But
Jay White. Jay White, you had breast milk?
yeah,
So you had breast milk, and I was talking to the camera. I was like, "It's funny, he had breast milk, and if he said the age that he was at, I feel like I know who breast milk he had. So this makes this
no, it's
even
not
more."
her. It's not her. It's not her.
Uh,
It's not her.
oh wow, you love women with children,
It's not her. Uh, fuck.
but was it intentionally or was it like?
No. So what's crazy is, so we were in the midst of what was happening. Like I said, we 18 or whatever. And so like, Facebook just opened up the world to everybody or whatever. So, we're off the bam, you set it up, we getting it in. And I'm going in to like, kiss on them or whatever. And I go in and kiss on them, and then shwa, and I'm like, wasn't expecting that. So like, I mean, I couldn't like spit it out, like, or whatever. So I was like, okay, or whatever. And so she like apologized and was like, yo, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I completely forgot that I like am still technically like breastfeeding or whatever. So I'm kind of like, oh, okay, that was a little different or whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, I had a situation like that. I've never had that happen since then though. Oddly enough, with the women I've talked to that like all my girlfriends like have had kids. Now that I think about it, but yeah, damn. Oh wow.
But no, I wasn't thinking. I think this person's name starts with the. It's not
not
that person I went to high
mm-mm,
school with. Not that person.
mm-mm,
Not
mm-mm,
and not the other. Oh wow.
nope. I wasn't
You
even
just
with this person. It was like we were just hooking up.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Yeah, yeah, you would think like between that, but when I got with both of them, well, the one you went to high school with, she
Well, no,
that,
by that
that
time,
could have still possibly maybe, but
no, and I was thinking about the other person. So that's why that was funny. I was like, oh, it's probably this person. And then you're like, no, I'm like, oh damn, you really gotta, but you just gotta, you like a mom magnet.
I am. They see big stepdaddy vibes for sure.
You apparently so. Apparently so. Wait,
Did you hear that?
no.
Oh, Siri. I guess I hit Siri by accident, and she like picked up what I was saying. But I was, what I was saying was like, yeah, like I think I give stepdad vibes for sure.
Oh.
Yeah. I give stepdaddy vibes for sure. So, all right, last question, and we're gonna get up out of here.
Okay.
Are you a fan of the pull-out method?
That's the question. Shut the front door. He not lying, y'all. Okay.
I am. No, I am. Fuck you, man.
Yes.
I think everybody is.
Yes and no. Because it's like, I think it depends on the situation. Because I feel like a lot of times, like if me and my dude will like give each other, it's like we'll have moments where we'll give each other space. Like it'd be one time like something happened, we didn't talk for like a couple weeks, right? And but then like we hung out, went to a bar or whatever, and I feel like the makeup sex is always raw sex. The makeup sex is always raw sex. And this time when this happened like last week, it was like almost like full on raw, but then he stopped and was like, oh, I gotta put a condom on because we haven't had sex in a minute. And so, and I was like, oh, that's probably smart because I think I was coming off like ovulation. So where it's not like high, but it's just still medium. So you just don't want to play with it anyway. And yes, this is silly because yes, pre-cum exists, right? But yeah. So, but I feel like raw sex, the makeup is like when we have makeup sex, it's always raw sex. So, yeah.
Shout out to y'all. I am definitely. I'm not doing it with everybody though. Like, nah, we gotta be like locked in.
Yeah. I don't be out here fucking everybody raw. Like I don't believe in that.
Exactly.
But yeah, absolutely.
I think everybody is. If everybody had their preference, they would prefer just nothing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but people say that it feels a little different. Like women say, oh, it feels different. And I'm not gonna say that it necessarily feels different, like both, but it's just, like people probably say that because it's more intimate. Like there's nothing, like there's no barrier, and then you're not smelling fucking latex.
You're not fucking smelling
tires.
AutoZone in that motherfucker.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
that's like let's stop lying about that. It feels no.
If I had the preference, of course I'm gonna choose that. But like it on our end, it feels different. I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, it does feel different because it feels like there is something there.
Yeah, but it's also like you also know because like at the tip, like the little opening,
Yeah.
Like it's a little tighter. I mean, it ain't like it's a cock ring, but it's something there.
Yeah, no, it's something there, and then shit can break, or then you gotta stop, and then you gotta go down and be a munch. You gotta stop and do certain things. If
Yeah.
it can fuck it up. Like, oh shit, it's it feels weird.
Yeah, it's been such a long
Yeah.
time also since I've had like a condom break. So that hasn't happened in my I don't think like my adulthood where it's like, oh my God,
Shout out to you.
Yeah, no, I haven't had that happen. Probably honestly since I dated CJ. So and he didn't even know. He didn't even know. Because I guess I don't know if it happened toward the end and I feel like y'all be knowing, y'all just want to, but yo,
that motherfucker.
No, so you already know what I'm saying. I had to lay down, and we had to because it wasn't it slid through. It was pieces of we had to pull pieces of. That's how janky that condom broke.
I've had that happen before, where it's come. I don't know how. Yeah, I do know how we got here. Had them break on me before. You definitely know when that motherfucker break, because it just it snap, and you oh, okay, it's a new ball game or whatever. And I've had it where it has I want to let you ride, but the rubber might slide type shit, where it's come off, and I've had to go in there and get that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, like you said, lay down and let me poke around a little bit to find out where it's at.
Yeah.
So, no,
it's not fun. It's not fun.
Mm-mm.
That's the wildest thing, but yeah, it's definitely not fun.
No, not at all.
Ghetto.
So the ghetto. So drop your socials. Tell them where they can reach you at in your 17 podcasts, 11 TV shows, 3 web shows.
I have. Shut your mouth. I have the Whiskey Sour podcast. Wherever you podcast, you can type in Whiskey Soured ED. And you'll see me on the cover art. And I have Everyone Needs an Aquarius. Wherever you podcast, those both are also visually available to you on YouTube. Be sure to follow, subscribe to my YouTube. It's St. Angela's. I'm trying to hit that 1,000 subscriptions, man, so I can monetize my YouTube.
Right.
But also St. Angela's on Instagram. There's a Whiskey Sour podcast, and my candles is saint-angeles.com/candles. So yeah, we into it. We got it. Having a good time, and that's it. That's all I got for you hoes. I'm just playing. Y'all not hoes. Yeah. The Henny Nighters, the Hennessy's. That's what we're gonna call your
Hennessy's.
The Hennessy's.
That's hella funny. I don't have I call them Henny Gang, but the Hennessy's is hella funny too.
The Hennessy's.
But yeah, make sure y'all tap in with her. As always, that information will be in the show notes. Yeah, so is the dog awake now?
She over here. She laying down. She just laying. She just breathing.
Okay, bet. So yeah, appreciate you jumping on. And until next time,